Okay, so good evening to all. Okay. Welcome sa ating lecture about Z transforms. So matagal ako hindi nakapag-tour na apologize kasi madaming gawain, 'di ba? So ngayon meron akong time para ituro ng kahit siguro balikan lang natin yung mga Z transforms natin. And we'll be actually using Z transforms para mag-analyze ng mga LTI systems. So, bale, ang magiging framework or rather yung magiging outline natin for today is we'll start off with some Z transforms. Yung parang ginagawa natin sa Laplace, ano Laplace nito, ano Laplace niyan, ganyan. Yun lang yun. Then, we'll move on to inverse Z transforms because it's important na alam mo kung paano mag-inverse. So, basically, para siyang sa derivative, right? Kasi yung derivative, madaling part eh, kasi naka-formula na. Now, the question is, kapag i-integral mo siya, paano na yon, di ba? Ganun din naman yung nangyari sa mga Laplace natin, tsaka inverse Laplace. Mas mahirap gawing inverse yung Laplace, or rather, kunin yung inverse ng Laplace. Okay? And so, this one is especially hard kasi Z transform to, and hindi siya defined by an integral, it's rather defined by this summation. Okay? If you can all recall correctly, no? Ah, yung katumbas kasi ng integral sa analog, kasi 'di ba sa analog, like say, for example, meron kang isang sine wave, okay? So if you find the area under this curve, you integrate this, no? You integrate this with respect to dx. But let's say na ano, instead of doing the integral, we can sample some parts of it, okay? And then, i-add na lang natin yung area ng mga yun, okay? So, if you take enough samples of it for this range, then ito na yung magiging representation ngayon ng summation na yan, okay? So, yun yung part niyan, okay? Or rather, yung parang pinaka-explanation and all of that. Okay. So, sandali lang for a while. Okay. So, this will all be Z transforms lang muna. Bukas, incorporate na natin yung lesson about sampling theorem tsaka yung aliasing. Okay? But for now, focus on tayo sa Z transforms. So, if you can all recall, this is the formula of Z transforms or rather the Z transform. And may kita naman na natin dito sa table kung ano yung mga Z transform na commonly used. Okay, but here's the problem. Ayoko kasi na masanay lang tayo basta-basta sa mga Z transform lang ng table. Like, I mean, it's good, no? Yun yung pinaka approach na ginawa natin or rather ginawa ng iba nung sa ADMAT, 'di ba, yung Laplace transform. Uh, Minemorize yung table. And it's actually good. Kasi mabilis 'yun. Okay? But rather, for this one, para kasi sa akin or sa akin lang naman, ewan ko sa inyo kung nagwo-work rin sa inyo yung gano'n, no? Kapag kasi yung student nalaman niya kung saan galing yung formula na 'to, mas ma-memorize niya 'yon, okay? And I want to put an emphasis on this one, itong dalawang 'to kasi kupal silang dalawa, ayan, okay? So I want to put an emphasis on the cosine and sine kasi hindi naman madaling i-memorize 'to, 'di ba? Z times z minus cosine of theta all over z squared minus 2 cosine z plus 1. 2z cosine pala of ohm plus 1. Okay, so we will be actually deriving itong cosine and sine muna, okay? And then I will be deriving ito. Okay? Kasi ito yung ginamit natin last time sa pag-analyze nung kung naaalala nyo, right? Y of n minus y of n minus 1. And I think may b yun eh. I think dito ata yung b. Yan, is equal to x of n. And ano daw mangyari kapag yung b mo daw is 0.5 raised to n u of n. But then, yung x of n mo is also 0.5 raised to n u of n. Okay? So we'll be actually doing that. We'll be analyzing rin ito. Para lang review lang. Paano nangyari nun? I think ito ata yung ano. I'm not sure. Check na lang natin sa notes ko mamaya. Pero mamaya pa naman yun eh. Okay. Wait lang ba tayo niya kasi mag-decolor. Okay. Sige. So, I will be deriving si cosine and theta and sine and theta. And ito kasi yung ano doon. Yung notice kasi, ano ba man notice mo dito sa formula natin? Kapag sinubstitute mo ng directly si cosine natin, right? Si cosine of n theta natin, di natin agad ito masosolve, right? Kasi, bakit? Sige, subukan mong i-add yung cosine of ohm plus cosine of 2 ohm. Okay. So this one will become what? Sine squared ohm minus, or rather, baliktad pala. So will become cosine of squared ohm minus sine of squared ohm. Okay. So basically, in short, ihirap buhay mo. Okay. So I don't want that. So ang gusto ko mangyari is, let's actually express cosine n theta in a way that meron siyang negative n sa taas, right? And so, what better way to do that than to recall or rather, yung one of the most beautiful equations na nakikita natin, right? Si EI of theta, which is equal to cosine of theta plus I sine of theta, right? Then, this is what you need. So, if we were to substitute itong n ohm sa loob ng cosine of theta, so you have cosine of n ohm plus I sine of n ohm. And then, dito ngayon, this is equal to EI of n ohm. So, meaning, by this logic daw, kapag ginamit natin ito dito kay x of n, not only can we get cosine of n ohm, pwede na natin makuha si sine of n ohm. The question is, ganun nga ba yung mangyayari? So let's actually check. Okay. So I will be substituting E, I, and ohm. And then z of negative n. Okay? Then, ano mangyayari? So, you have an A of n parang BC plus z of n, negative n. So, pwede nating or rather, naka-multiply pala sila, sorry. So, kapag ganyan, pwede nating ilabas si n natin. I get ABC times z, pero naka-negative 1. Okay? So, therefore, I can now express this as n equal to 0 to infinity ng what? E I theta over z, then raised to n. Okay. And now, this one here, pwede mo na siyang gamitan ng yung sa ano, 'di ba? From 0 to infinity to eh. So this one will become a geometric series where ang unang term mo is 1. But this is also because it's an infinite geometric series. So ano bang formula nun? This is actually 1 all over 1 minus r. So my r will be etong nasa loob. So this means I can now express this as 1 minus 1 all over 1 minus e raised to I theta over z. Okay? And so, if we now express this, it's going to be z all over z minus e I theta. Pwede nyo nang i-check yan ng sarili nyo. It's fine. Okay lang yan. Okay. Okay, so ayan na yun. Pero hindi pa siya tapos. Bakit? Bakit nga ba? Bakit ba siya hindi tapos? Ako tapos na to eh. Okay. Okay. So, ganito kasi yun. Since this is well, minus EI theta eh, di ba? So, ano ba si minus of EI of omega pala? Well, para lang siyang ni-negative mo to, so this will become negative of cosine of ohm plus, or rather hindi plus, it's actually minus. Oh, wait lang. Hindi pala, cosine pa rin pala yan. Okay. Sine of ohm. Positive pa rin to, kasi nga, kapag ni-negative mo ang wait, hold on. Sandali lang. naka-minus pala yung EI sa tama nga. Okay. Actually, so EI of theta nga is equal to cosine of ohm plus I sine of ohm. So kapag binultiply mo ng negative ito, magne-negative rin yung dalawang to. Okay? Okay. Well, that's good. Pero ang ano ko kasi dito is we want to separate itong real part niya and yung imaginary part niya ng mas mabilis. Kasi pwede namang i-separate mo siya dito. Pero paano mo gagawin? So, kailangan mo siya i-multiply sa conjugate niya na nasa baba. Okay? That way, okay. Ito yung conjugate, right? If you can all remember yung conjugate. Actually, ang conjugate talaga is negative of cosine of ohm plus I sine of ohm. Okay? Ito talaga dapat yung conjugate. Sige na nga. Pwede na natin i-express ng ganun eh. Pero wait, no. Actually, dito ko nang lalagay sa baba para makita natin kung ano talaga yung pinakatama. Okay. Okay. So, I will do a different approach. So, ang ginawa ko lang naman dito is same lang nito, pero pinactor out ko sila. Bali, in-express ko ngayon si negative EI ohm as ganyan, then tsaka ko dito hinanap yung conjugate niya. Okay? Okay, hold on. Meron tayong just checking a bit. Check lang tayo. Okay, I think this looks good. This looks good. Okay, ito na lang. Ganito na lang natin siya ano. Okay. Sorry. Delete na natin 'to. So basically ganito na lang. Okay, bakit? So ano nangyari? Okay. Ay, wait. Balik pala natin yung dinelete ko. Ganito na lang. Okay. Balik natin 'to. Okay. So, recall from your advanced mathematics na etong negative EI ohm, 'di ba ginawa natin ganyan? Pero ano ngayon yung kanyang conjugate? Represented by a asterisk. So basically, yung conjugate ng isang complex number is i-negative mo yung, or rather, i-flip mo yung sign nung imaginary niya. Since our imaginary is si I sine of ohm, yun ang i-flip natin yung sign. So gagawin lang natin siyang positive. And so, we have this following. Okay? Now, you'll notice some things. Okay? Kapag hiniwalay mo yung real and imaginary part nitong taas natin, we get z times z minus cosine of ohm all over yung nasa baba na okay, ito yung real part. Okay, basically ito na lang muna yung real part ng numerator. Numerator lang tayo ha. Okay. So ito yung real part niya and yung kanyang imaginary part is yung z sine ohm. So this one is your I and this one will be your R. Okay? So now, ang gagawin na lang natin is i-multiply na lang natin yung dito sa baba. Okay? Z minus cosine of ohm minus I sine of ohm. Okay? Times Z minus cosine of ohm plus I sine of ohm. Okay, so basically, if I multiply this and this, magka-cancel sila. So, I get now instead is Z squared minus 2Z cosine of ohm plus cosine of squared theta, and then si I sine of theta, and kay negative I sine of theta, it's going to be plus sine of squared theta. Okay. So now this becomes z squared minus 2z cosine of ohm plus 1. So now, I get that ang cosine of n ohm natin, ang kanyang transform, okay? Wait, how do you actually represent that? Okay, yun na lang. Okay, ganito na lang. Okay, so itong kanyang transform is z times z minus cosine of ohm all over z squared minus 2z cosine of ohm plus 1. Okay? And likewise, yung sa sine naman natin is equal to z sine of ohm all over z squared minus 2z cosine of ohm plus 1. Just to check kung tama tayo. Yes po, tamang-tama tayo diyan. Okay? Pinactor out ko lang naman tong 8 and 9, yung number 8. Okay? So, now we understood, sorry. Okay. So now we understood kung saan nanggaling si cosine and sine ohm. Yes, matagal siya. Pero madali niyo na siyang ma-memorize. Bakit? Kasi kapag hindi niyo siya na-memorize, just in case na hindi niyo na-memorize, there is no harm. Bakit? Kasi kabisado natin kung saan galing. Alam natin kung saan siya galing. We can derive it anytime. So for example, pag pinahanap sa inyo yung a n cosine of n ohm, itong number 10, paano mo malalaman na magiging ganito siya? Okay. Well, sandali lang. Okay, ayan. Okay. Okay. Well, para malaman naman natin yung ibang mga properties na nandito, I will actually include the derivation in number 10, number 11. But before that, punta muna tayo kay number 7. Kasi ito yung pinaka ginamit natin last time sa last lesson ni Sir. Okay? Yan yung pinang-analyze natin dito eh. Okay. So, why is this my favorite? At bakit ako parang na-excite? Kasi paborito ko sa lahat yung properties. Okay? Like we're talking about properties. Meron kasi yung convolution and shit. Yes, ito po yun. Okay? So, si convolution, defined siya in, well, actually, iba yung convolution ng, okay, so, next time ko na lang ituturo muna yung convolution. But for now, let's just do some, muna, basta. Dito muna tayo sa properties of Z-transform. So, meaning, alam na natin yung basics ni Z-transform. So, I can just check that. So, doon na tayo sa properties ni Z-transform. Okay? Before that, before tayo mag-proceed, let's talk about muna, ito, sandali lang, okay? Region of convergence. So, the purpose of the region of convergence is so that makita mo kasi, dito mo kasi makikita yung stability. It has its roots in the stability of a system. Okay? Specifically, wait lang, for a while, hanapin ko lang yung notebook ko about this one kasi sinulat ko yung parang mga notes ko about it. So, hold on. Okay, sige. Balik tayo dito sa wait, hold on. Okay. So, dito kasi sa region of convergence, ganito kasi 'yon. You can look at something like, for example, u of n. U of n is equal to z all over z minus 1. Now, there are two things that you must look for sa isang z-transform. The zero and the pole. So, paano mo malalaman si zero and pole mo? Basically, si zero is dapat yung numerator mo is equal to 0. And si pole, si denominator will be equal to 0. Basically or basically put, kapag nahanap mo yung pole mo, yun yung value ng z mo kung saan infinite na, technically speaking, yung parang signal mo, right? So, if we were to, for example, look at the u of n na to, okay? Anong zero niya? So, z is equal to 0. Yan yung zero niya. Kasi, pag ginawa mong 0 si numerator, si z lang naman ani mo. But for the denominator part, if we equal that to 0, I get that my z is equal to 1. Okay? Meaning, kapag ang z ko equal to 1, this will become infinite. So, my region of convergence, therefore, is z must be greater than 1. Okay? And that goes the same kapag naging a raised to n lang siya. Okay? O itong sa z plus a. Ito, same lang rin sila ng region of convergence kahit magkaiba sila ng sign ng a. Okay? Kasi technically speaking, kapag technically speaking kasi dito sa part na to, okay? Pag in-inverse mo kasi siya pabalik, meron times na magkakaroon ka ng either negative siya or magiging positive siya. So may mga ganong case. Okay? Pero basically put rather, etong z plus a is equal to 0, z will be equal to negative a. But here's the thing, ang region of convergence is defined by a circle. Okay, this is a circle. Ayan. And dito sa circle, the radius is defined dito sa part na yan as the poles. So this will become your positive pole and this will become your negative pole. So ito yung na-solve mo for this one. You solve the negative pole. So that means kasama pa rin yung positive pole doon. Kasi you're supposed to make a circle. And dito sa part na to, ito yung zeros. Well, actually hindi zeros. It's actually yung pole rin. Kasi again, it must be defined by the circle. The unit circle usually. Okay? So yun yung sa ROC. So I just wanna put that here para malaman lahat kung para saan yung ROC na yan. Basically put, siya lang yung magsasabi ko ano yung stability ng isang system. Specifically, depende yan dun sa type of system. Naalala nyo yung nilesson ko, causal ba to, anti-causal ba to, stable ba to, or not, ganyan. Okay, so may mga ganun tayong criterias. And we'll be talking about that kung may time tayo mamaya. Okay? But for now, dito muna tayo sa properties of Z-transform. Okay, and we'll be using these properties, all 8 properties, para makuha yung eto, na mga nandito. Now, baka sabihin, now, I know anong iniisip niyo right now. Tony, bakit ka ngayon nagbigay sa amin ng table ng mga Z-transform ng common signal, pero bibigay mo rin naman yung property na table, eh di mas madami kaming minemorize. Okay, fair enough. Pero ito kasi, itong mga nandito, it applies to all. This one is like specific. What if iniba ni sir yung itsura ng signal and then nag-choke ka bigla? Diba? What if, yeah, may a and cosine of and ohm ka, but then minultiply niya to ng sine of n ohm. Now what you gonna do? Yes, you're going to convert this to sine 2n ohm all over 2 and then diyan ka magpro-proceed. Okay? Ayan, 'di ba? Parang ganoon lang rin yung magiging itsura. But the point is, if for example, hinanap na yung convolution, which again, yun nga, yung convolution talaga yung pinakamahirap na part so far, kung na-try nyo siyang aralin, mag-isa, okay? Si convolution part. See, naka-star siya. You know what the star means? Di ko rin alam. Okay, but no. Actually, asterisk talaga yan. Asterisk or star, doesn't matter. Okay, anyway. Wawala tayo sa mismong ano. So let's go with n of a raised n, u of n. By the way, usually, nakakalimutan nating ilagay yung u of n. Wag nyo kalimutan. Kasi may mga ganyan eh. Ayun o, u of n minus 1. Grabe yun. Okay. So, n of a raised to n u of n. Okay. Now, minultiply natin siya ng n. So, basically put, para tayong nag-multiply ng independent function of time sa ating original signal na a of n u of n. So, if we can recall, the z transform of a of n u of n, okay, is actually z all over z minus a. So, what happens then kapag minultiply natin siya ng n? You get the fifth property times n where ang mangyayari daw is negative z multiplied by the derivative ng original signal natin, which is this one. So, you will have to derivative this with respect to z and then multiply it by negative z. So, let's do that. Let us derivative a raised to n u of n, oh no, sorry, yung kanyang z transform, o basta z, o dz, d of xz over dz. And keep in mind na xz natin is ito lang, okay? So, hindi pa yan yung original talaga kasi di ba, ito yung ating y of z. Ayan, para hindi na nakakalito. So, this will become your x of z. Okay. So, pag dinerivative na natin yung x of z natin, what happens? Well, remember that this is quotient rule. So definitely z minus a minus z. Tama ba? Tama. Okay. All over z minus a na squared. So this one will become equal to negative a all over z minus a squared. Very good. Now, what's next? Now, we look at the formula again and say, multiply lang natin siya ng negative z. So y of z now is equal to negative z times negative a all over z minus a na squared. This is now equal to az or za. Za na lang. Ayan. All over z minus a squared. Which is, surprisingly, ito. Di ba? Madali lang natin siya na-solve. So the question is, what happens kapag doon na tayo kay cosine of n theta? N ohm pala, n ohm. A raised to n of cosine n ohm. Now, you can do this on a formula, pero I am tamad ako. Hindi ko gagawin yung pag-derive niyan gamit yung formula. So, let's actually just instead introduce the scaling. Number 4. This states that lahat daw ng x of z, or rather lahat ng z, dito sa original natin na x. So, again, this is my x of z, right? So, this will become equal to z times z minus cosine of ohm all over z squared minus 2z cosine of ohm plus 1. Okay? Yan yun. So, sabi daw dito, para daw mahanap natin si y of z, ano lang gagawin natin? Papalitan lang natin lahat ng z na yan ng z minus z all over alpha or z over a. So, I will get z all over a times z all over a minus cosine of ohm. Oh, shit. All over z squared all over a squared minus 2z cosine of ohm all over a plus 1. Okay, now we will be rationalizing both numerators and denominators. So I will get z squared all over a squared minus a cosine of ohm all over a squared. Huwag kayo malito. Minultiply ko lang si a dito sa baba. Okay, so I get z all over a squared dito minus ko. Okay, may nakalimutan pala ako. Z. Ayan. So, wala malilito. Minultiply ko lang talaga sila dito sa numerator. So, dito sa baba, wala ring malilito. Ginawa ko lang z squared minus 2az cosine of ohm plus a squared all over a squared. Okay? Wala ring malilito dyan. Ano lang ginawa ko? Minultiply ko lang to ng a para a squared to. Tapos ito, ginawa kong a squared all over a squared. Okay. Yun lang yun. So, kakancel na natin lahat ng a squared and I will get z squared minus az cosine of ohm all over z squared minus 2az cosine of ohm plus a squared. And there it is, right here. And you can do that the same thing dito kay number 11. So that means, if for example, pinahanap sa inyo yung a of n, e raised to n, okay? So let's say this one is your signal. So paano nga ba mangyari kapag ganito yung signal signal nyo? Ano nga na? Okay, hindi. So basically, wait lang. Ano yung e of n, u of n natin? If you can recall, para siyang z all over z minus e. Diba? So, para lang makuha natin yung, kasi parang ano rin naman siya p of n lang rin naman. Ay, yun lang yun. So, para mahanap na natin yung a of n, e raised to n, gagawin lang natin, papalitan natin lahat ng z over a. So, I have z over a, then z minus ea all over a. Walang malilito. Okay, minultiply ko lang. Cancel, cancel. So I get Z all over Z minus EA. Meaning, if I have a signal na B of N, or for example, kahit ano lang siya, basta naka-raise to N na number. Kapag minultiply ko siya ng A raised to N, ang mangyayari lang sa Z transform niyan, yung number na yon magmumultiply lang siya ng A. It's like dito. Parang kinilang natin yung U of N natin. So, yung 1 na yan, na-multiply lang natin siya ng A. And so that goes the same thing with this. So now, wala nang malilito kapag pinahanap sa inyo yung sa E raised to N. Diba? Kasi alam na natin kung nasaan. And again, kapag scale naman natin siya, you just find the derivative. Okay? So, hindi napakita dito. What if ang bigay sa inyo ni Sir is N cosine of N ohm? Ayan, paano mahanapin yan? Okay, naalala niyo yung kanina, yung sa cosine of N ohm. Okay, ide-derivative mo yan. So, kayo na bahala dyan, okay? I don't have time for that shit. So, let's move on. Okay, saan nyo pagagamitin yung ibang mga signals? Or rather, yung mga ibang properties? Well, ito rin. Meron tayong isa pang property na reflection. So, kapag nag-reflect daw, papalitan mo lang siya ng 1 over Z. Okay? Bakit nga ba? Okay. Anyway, ayan. So, kapag naman nagka-shift, naalala niyo yung sa shifting, right? So, let's say, you are given, okay, sige na, bigyan natin tayo ng okay, let's have an example. This one is a good, ito na yung pinakamagandang way para bigyan na natin kayo ng example. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Bang. Okay. Okay. So given these signals, I want you to find the Z transform of each and every one of them. Okay? So magagamit natin, puro mga onting magagamit natin dito. May mga magagamit tayo dito. Okay, sige. For a while. Wait lang, inom lang ng tubig.